So, we are going to start a talk on important idea. You know that this matter around us exists in three different states at room temperature, right? At room temperature can be like a fluid or it can be like a solid. What is a fluid? Anything that it can be a gas or it can be a liquid. Do you know gases and liquids together are called fluids? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes, it is room temperature. Notice any material can be converted into gas or liquid or solid by changing temperature. Here our concern is at room temperature. Now when I am looking at the solids, this can be a pseudo solid. It looks like a solid but not a solid, or it can be true solid. What is a solid? A solid is that which has some kind of rigidity, a kind of shape. Definitely it has a mass, volume and a shape. In a solid, this is difficult to compress. A liquid may be compressed to some extent, a gas can be compressed to a greater extent, but a solid, the space between particles is very less, the packing is tight. The particles in a solid may oscillate, may vibrate slightly, but they can't have translatory motion. They can't go from one place to the other. In gas, molecules can happily travel. Molecules in a gas can rotate. Of course, molecules in gas can vibrate. They have 3 degrees of freedom: translation, rotation, vibration. Whereas if you are looking at a liquid, molecules can translate and they can rotate. Whereas in a solid, molecules can at the best vibrate, that's all. So, solid is characterized by a definite mass, a definite volume, and a definite shape with a very tight packing. And if the packing is such that the order in the packing is extending over a short range and also in a long range, and the structure is just a repetition of a similar units in 3 dimensions, then that is called as a true solid. A true solid can be identified by a particular melting point. A true solid has a sharp melting point. When ice starts melting, it continues to melt till entire mass melts, temperature remains 0. A solid is having a characteristic melting point. Notice, if there is an impurity in the solid, the melting point drops. For example, pure water freezes at 0 degrees. But if we add ice, if we add salt to water, salty water, it won't freeze at 0 degrees. The freezing point drops. More concentrated the salt is, greater drop is there in the freezing point. One way to identify whether a given material is pure or impure, check up. If its melting point is sharp, pure. If the melting point dropped, think that there are impurities. Melting point and the freezing point both are same. By melting, I mean solid is becoming a liquid. By freezing, I mean liquid is becoming solid. Both happen at the same temperature for a given material. So, sir, we were wondering what is a solid? Around you, you can see so many solid things, you know. But when you are looking at a glass, I would say it is not a true solid. Why? Ice is a true solid. Diamond is a true solid. Brick is a true solid. Sugar is a true solid. But glass is not a true solid. Why like that, sir? When I start heating glass, it starts melting, temperature continues to rise. If I take ice and start melting it, once it starts melting, temperature will be 0. Till the entire ice melts, temperature remains 0 only. Even if I am heating, temperature remains 0 only. Because ice has a definite melting point. The extra heat energy which I am giving is absorbed by other solid ice to melt. As far as ice is melting, temperature remains 0 degrees only. It is true for iron, it is true for gold, it is true for diamond, it is true for any solid. Any true solid has a sharp melting point. But if I am looking at a glass, glass is not a true solid. It does not have long range and short range order in the arrangement of particles. Maybe it has some short range order, but a long range order is not there. A true solid has a long range order in the arrangement of its particles. A true solid has a characteristic melting point. Very interestingly, you take an egg, sir. Let us take an egg. Is it easy to break the egg putting it like this, or is it easy to break an egg like this? Auntie or boy, which is easy?
Auntie.
Easily you can break egg like this, but you can't break like this. Why? It means the egg has a different mechanical strength in different planes. This phenomena is called anisotropy. What is it called, sir? Anisotropy. Different mechanical strength, the different conductance property, etc. in different planes. True solid is anisotropic, whereas amorphous solids are isotropic. In all planes, it has same hardness. You take talcum powder, you press it in any direction. Talcum powder is very soft in all directions. They are isotropic. So what are the 3 important features of a solid, sir? It has a different shape. The packing of particles of it is very close, so it is hardly compressible. It has a sharp melting point, and it is anisotropic. If you try to break a true solid, it breaks in a particular pattern. It is called cleavage plane. If you break a glass, the glass sheet breaks in any random directions. There is no order in the way it breaks. A glass is not having cleavage planes. A true solid has a definite cleavage plane. So at room temperature, material can be a solid, it can be a liquid, it can be a gas. The liquids and gases are called fluids, whereas most rigid, long range and short range orderly arranged particles are there in true solid. Glass is not a true solid, it is an amorphous solid. Talcum powder is an amorphous solid, clay is an amorphous solid. Amorphous solids are called pseudosolids. What are the 4 things which are not there in a pseudosolid? A, long range and short range order of particles is not there. B, sharp melting point is not there. C, it does not have cleavage planes. It will not break in a particular pattern. It will break in random pattern. No cleavage patterns, and amorphous solids are isotropic. Whereas crystalline solids, short melting point, very beautiful orderly arrangement of particles, long range, short range, very less interparticular space, not compressible. They have definite cleavage planes and they are anisotropic. Is this clear, sir, so far? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Sir, I was wondering, how many types of solids I have? It can be a molecular solid where molecules are packed close together. You take hydrogen, start cooling it. Cool, 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 cool. If you too much cool, hydrogen gas will become a solid, and that is called a molecular solid, where molecules are held by very weak attractions of van der Waals. Therefore, it is easy to melt. Hello. So, ladies and gentlemen, sir, we were wondering, what is a true solid? A true solid is having a sharp melting point. A true solid has a definite plane of cutting. It breaks in a particular order. Cleavage plane, I call it as cleavage plane. Don't use this term cleavage when you are talking to ladies. They misunderstand you. They will kick you with chappal, mind you. Because cleavage has another meaning. Please don't use the term. In chemistry, it has a meaning. Cleavage means orderly breaking. Okay. And by mistake, if some of you will go and say cleavage is nice before ladies, they misunderstand and they will scold you and me also. You understand, stupid fellows? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Hello? Please be careful. So cleavage means what? A particular pattern in which it breaks. Number 3, they are anisotropic. Different properties in different planes. Long range and short range order. Long range, short range order in the arrangement of particles. Most importantly, sharp melting point. This type of solid can be molecular solid. A molecular solid means where molecules are held together. The molecular solids may be non-polar molecules like H2, O2, Cl2. When these gases are cooled, on supercooling they will become solids. These are called molecular solids. Sometimes the molecular solid can have polar bonds, polar solid, polar molecular solid. For example, you have HCl. In HCl, there is H as a little plus charge, plus delta Cl minus. So different HCls are held by what is called as van der Waals attraction, Cl minus. This type of solids which have a dipole attracting another dipole, they are called polar molecular solids. Sometimes if you look at water, in water, different water molecules are held by hydrogen bonding. Hydrogen bonding is really very powerful. So a molecular solid can be simple molecular solid where there is no charge separation. They have very low melting points. Generally, they are gases at room temperature. Only they exist as solids on supercooling. Whereas the polar molecular solids, they are made by molecules which have polarity a little bit plus minus charge separation. Whereas hydrogen bonded molecular solids, they are molecular solids, but molecules are held by hydrogen bonding. And in these 3, hydrogen bonded molecular solids have higher melting points. Water is a typical example of hydrogen bonded molecular solid. Well, the second category of solids can be ionic solids. See, when you are talking of, say, glucose, it is a molecular solid where molecules are held by hydrogen bonds. Whereas in glucose, different molecules have only van der Waals attractions and hydrogen bonding. You can say definitely this is a molecule, this is a molecule, this is a molecule. The molecules are held by both van der Waals attractions and hydrogen bonding. But when you are looking at ionic solid, Na plus Cl minus, Na plus Cl minus, Na plus Cl minus, Na plus Cl minus, Na plus Cl minus. There is no end to it. There is an array. Infinite number of Na plus and Cl minus arrange themselves. Around every Cl minus, there will be so many Na plus. Sir, how many will be there, sir? Around Cl minus, how many Na plus will be there from this diagram? Can you guess?
6, sir. Coordination number is 6.
It means that this is a beautiful packing where every particular positive ion is surrounded by a definite number of negative ions. Every negative ion is surrounded by a definite number of positive ions. There is a particular repetition in the packing. All that is called ionic solid, which has very high melting point. In ionic solid, the charged ions remain fixed in their positions. They don't conduct current in solid state. If you melt, it may conduct current. Whereas in solid state, ionic solids never conduct current. Ionic solids have very high melting points. Ionic solids don't have discrete molecules. They are having a conglomeration of ions. Therefore, these are ionic solids. The third category is your covalent network solids. For example, if you take diamond, every carbon is locked to 4 carbons. It looks like an infinite network. A covalent solid can have very high melting point if it is having 3D covalent network structure like diamond. Some of the covalent solids like graphite, they may conduct current. Say covalent solid can be a network solid like diamond, like silica. Also, you have fourth category that is called as metallic solids. Like your metals, cadmium, titanium, iridium, chromium, manganese, iron, cobalt, nickel, copper, zinc, all these metals, their packing is somewhat different. Therefore, solids are how many categories, sir? Molecular solids, ionic solids,
Metallic
solids, metallic solids. Metallic solid is having totally different properties, like it shines in the metallic shine. A metallic solid can be beaten into sheets called malleability. It can be drawn into wires called ductility. The metallic solids are excellent conductors. But some metals have low melting points like mercury. Some metals have high melting point. Now our theory should explain the properties of different solids. Your doubt, sir? Sir, the topic under discussion is solid state. So, sir, if you are looking at a wall, the wall is made by repeated joining of what, sir? Bricks. Our human body is made up of with what, sir?
Tissue.
Cell.
Human body is made up of with cells. Cell is the repeating unit. So many, one type of cells together make what is called as a tissue. Tissues together can make organs. Organs together make organ systems. And we have many organ systems in our body. Similarly, a wall is made with bricks. Similarly, a solid is made with a repeating unit called unit cell. Let us look at a unit cell. Here you have particles, sir. Sir, how it is looking like, sir? Hello? How these particles are looking like? How they are packed? Hello,
Loosely
sir.
packed.
They are packed like a how it is looking like, sir?
Cube.
Hello. See,
Cube,
once
sir.
I draw the lines, you are saying cube. If I don't draw the lines, how it is looking like? The scientists call it as a cubic unit cell. In fact, when you see under microscope, it looks like this. The scientists have imagined these lines. When you imagine these lines, it looks like a cube. Yes or no, sir? Yes or no?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Notice that this cube has A, B, C. 3 axial lengths. Alpha, beta, gamma. 3 axial angles. The repeating unit in any solid is called unit cell. In the unit cell, I would see 3 axial lengths A, B, C. The axial angles called alpha, beta, gamma. If all are equal, A is equal to B is equal to C, alpha is equal to beta is equal to gamma is equal to 90 degrees. What is it called, sir? If all are equal, what is it called?
Cube.
It is a perfect cube. Ladies and gentlemen, there are so many variations in the repeating unit in a crystal. The repeating unit in a crystal is called unit cell. Let us see what are the various types of unit cells we can encounter. A is equal to B is equal to C, alpha is equal to beta is equal to gamma is equal to 90 degrees. What is it called, sir? Hello? What is it
Cubic
called?
unit cell.
Now there can
Hello.
be variations. Hello. Now there can be variations. Sir, based on the area variation, it can be called cubic. CTOR HMT. I want you to remember this in the same order. Cubic, tetragonal, orthorhombic, rhombohedral, hexagonal, monoclinic, triclinic. I write down, sir. Cubic, tetragonal, orthorhombic, triclinic, rhombohedral. Orthorhombic. Rhombohedral, CTOR HMT. Hexagonal, monoclinic, triclinic. These are 7 crystal systems. You know, in cubic A is equal to B is equal to C, alpha is equal to beta is equal to gamma is equal to 90 degrees. Whereas in the triclinic,
After
A is
monoclinic
not
what,
equal
sir?
to B, not equal to C, alpha is not equal to beta is not equal to gamma is not equal to.
What is last one, sir?
Triclinic, I repeat, sir, I will write down neatly. Cubic, tetragonal, orthorhombic, rhombohedral, hexagonal, monoclinic, triclinic. These are the 7 variants. There is a smooth variation in A, B, C, alpha, beta, gamma values. How do they vary? We see. Sir, we start now. That is introduction to this lesson called solid state. I want you to look at this content. Can you scan the page number 1, son? Hello? In
Yes,
this
sir.
para, they explain what are fluids, what are solids, don't worry about it. In this para, they said general properties of solids. Here they give 6 points, 5 points. They have shown that a solid has a long range as well as short range order of the particles. They are restricted. There is a cleavage plane, a particular order in which it breaks in a true solid. Hello? Hello?
Hi, sir.
Hello? We got disconnected for a while. Sorry. Now I think we got reconnected. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the order showing the diagram. Sir, this is a comparison of crystalline true solid and amorphous solid. I know you these differences. Okay? An amorphous solid or a pseudo solid is isotopic. It has same hardness in all directions, same conductance in all directions. True solid is never isotopic. Can you answer these questions, sir? Why is glass considered as supercooled liquid? Because in glass there can be no long range order of particles and glass does not have short melting point.
Hello.
We have talked about classification of crystalline solids as molecular solids which are non-polar, molecular solids which are polar, hydrogen bonded solids. We have also seen what are ionic solids, what are metallic solids, what are covalent network solids, diamond, graphite. I want you to by heart this table without fail. You have to by heart this. You can take a screenshot, you have to by heart this. Tomorrow I will ask you questions related to this. You see this, sir? Examples you see, sir, particularly an example for non-polar molecular solid is like solid hydrogen, solid iodine, solid argon. An example for polar solids is HClSO2. An example for hydrogen bonded solid is water. As solid, that is ice.
No, sir.
Yes, sir. Hello? I want you to by heart this table because from this table they asked IIT mains questions. You have to learn the table. What are the
Sir, where is the table?
This table I am showing you. Are you not able to see? Hello? You
Hello.
are not able to see? Hello?
You
Can you
can
see
see.
the
Hello.
table or not?
Hello.
I will share this book with you if you want. It is NCERT book only. Can you see the table, sir? Hello?
No.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes or no? In this table, you
Yes.
have to
Yes,
learn
sir.
examples for molecular solids which are non-polar, molecular solids which are polar, molecular solids which are hydrogen bonded. Do they conduct current? Do they have high melting points or low melting points? You have to learn this table. From this table, they are asking questions in IIT mains. Knowledge as well as carpenter. Okay. Sir, tomorrow in your notebook, I want you to write down and show me. Without seeing,
Tomorrow holiday.
you have to work out. You should be able to answer question number 1.6 to 1.9.
Tomorrow holiday.
Wednesday holiday.
Yes, sir. Tomorrow, no class, sir.
Why holiday?
Sir,
Huh?
please tomorrow holiday.
Sir, you
Tomorrow
told you will
you
not
holiday?
take class on Wednesday.
I come again.
You told
Tomorrow
you will not
holiday.
take class on Wednesday.
Tomorrow I will take class. Tomorrow you don't have holiday, right?
When is
Yes,
holiday?
sir. Why
Oh,
holiday,
yeah.
sir?
Tomorrow holiday.
holiday, sir.
Hello. Wednesday I will be going away on some work. Tomorrow I am taking class. Why you got
Tomorrow is
doubt that
Tuesday
tomorrow
now,
no
sir.
class?
Sir,
Hello?
when is Bonalu?
Excuse me?
When is Bonalu?
I don't know about Bonala. I don't take holiday. Because Wednesday I have some work. Tomorrow anybody is not taking your class or what?
Sir,
Hello?
give holiday tomorrow.
Which sir give holiday? Hello?
Sir, leave them, sir, please.
Which sir? Giri sir give holiday tomorrow.
No one gave holiday, sir.
No one should give holiday. Tomorrow is a working day. Only when day after tomorrow, I have some work. I will not be able to take class. Okay, leaving that 1.6, 1.7, 1.8, 1.9, we have to answer. Classify the following solids in different categories based on the nature. Potassium sulfate, it is a ionic solid because it has potassium ion, sulfate ions. Tin is a metallic solid. Benzene is a molecular solid, non-polar. Urea is a hydrogen bonded solid, covalent solid. Ammonia is a hydrogen bonded solid. Water is a hydrogen bonded molecular solid. Like that you have to do, man. Everything I can't do. 1.6, 1.7, 1.8, 1.9 homework. Then please look at this repeating structure. A three-dimensional array of these repeating structures of particles is called as crystal lattice. In the crystal lattice, the small part which is repeating itself is called as unit cell. Okay. In how many ways these lattices can exist means there are 14 ways in which they can exist. The 14 fundamental variants in which the repeating units can exist is called as Bravais lattices. A lattice is a three-dimensional arrangement of particles.
Sir, what is that?
The regular three-dimensional arrangement of points in space is called crystal lattice. What is your doubt, sir? Hello? Hello, sir. What is your doubt? Hello?
Nothing, sir.
What is lattice, sir?
Can you see this diagram? Hello? Sir, what is the problem, sir?
Sir, he's asking
Hello?
what is lattice, then he's muting, sir.
I am telling you, a lattice is a three-dimensional arrangement of different particles in a solid. The way the particles are arranged appears as if a unit is repeating. The repeating unit is called unit cell. There are 14 different ways in which unit cells can exist. They are called Bravais lattices. Their name is what? Bravais lattice. This is a repeating unit. Sir, can you see that? This is a cube. Here you have three lengths, A, B, C. A is a length of a cube coming towards you. B is a horizontal length and C is a vertical length. In one way, I can say A is the depth, B is the width, C is the height. Can you see, sir? The angle between auntie and boy is gamma. Angle between auntie and chutney is beta. Angle between boy and chutney is alpha. Alpha, beta, gamma. There are three angles. There are three lengths. They are called crystal parameters. The repeating unit is called unit cell. Sir, if A is equal to B is equal to C, alpha is equal to beta is equal to gamma is equal to 90 degrees, it is called cube. In a cube, if there are particles only in its corners, nowhere else, then this is called a primitive cube.
Sir, one
If
show
there are
before page.
particles, sir,
Once
are
can
you
you show
seeing this
before
screen?
page, sir?
What do you want me to show, sir?
Before page, previous page.
This one, this one. This story is over, man. Hello, gentlemen.
Sir, this probing the structure of solids, that is not there, sir.
Sir, here particles are arranged like this. You have to imagine some lines. These lines are not there. If you see a solid, only there are points where particles are there. Scientists have imagined a cube which is repeating, a cube-like thing which is repeating. The three-dimensional arrangement of particles is called crystal lattice. In the crystal lattice, whatever that is getting repeated is called the unit cell. The way the particles are kept in the unit cell differs. There are 14 fundamental variants. Okay? Each place where particle is there is called a lattice point. In each lattice point, you can think that there is a particle or a molecule or a ion. Notice the lines which are joining the lattice points, we only imagine. They are not really there. We are imagining these lines. And this fundamental structure which is repeating is called unit cell. Every unit cell has three lengths like auntie, boy, chutney. Sir, auntie is coming towards you. Can you see auntie? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Hello? And boy is horizontal. Chutney is vertically up. The angle between auntie and boy is called gamma. Angle between boy and chutney is called alpha. Chutney and auntie is called as beta. You should know these parameters. Based on how the ABC, alpha, beta, gamma are related, based on where the particles, are they only in the corners, then that is a primitive cell. If the particles are there in corners and also in the center of this face center. If the particles are not only in corners in face center, but also in the center of the body, it is called body center. I will show you the diagrams. Okay, sir.
Sir, do we have to rejoin?
Before we go to the diagrams, sir, before you go to the diagrams, I want to tell you one important message. If A is equal to B is equal to C, alpha is equal to beta is equal to gamma 90 degrees, it is called simple cube. Okay, sir. Based on the variants, it can be cubic system, tetragonal system, orthorhombic system, hexagonal system, rhombohedral or trigonal system. Total, how many crystal systems are? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6, 7. How many crystal systems are there, sir?